All right. So we gotta let the clock count down because the clock has to count down just to get people in here and aware of what's going on. Because I don't put any music on the countdown timer because if I put the music on there, any kind of damn music, they they typically will they'll typically if you put any type of music on the countdown, they always try to copyright strike you or something. So the countdown gotta go because the people got to come on in here. Everybody's all gathering around as they watch the clock, and that's how we doing this. You see what I'm saying? It's counting down. They can hear me. I'm sure they can hear me right now. They can't see me because I got to play my theme music, of course. Before they come in here, we gotta give them the theme song, right? Or I got to figure out some type of music that is copyright free. Right. But it's hard because everybody put a license back up on the music. So they coming in. We got people coming in. We got a couple eyeballs right now as this thing is counting down. Just be patient. Y'all don't have to leave. We got like 17 of y'all in here looking at this. 18. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a nice little group meeting, a group activity. Cause it's always a vibe on the greatest show on earth. You know what I'm saying? So five, four, three, three, two, one. Bam! And what up, what up, what up? And we're back. We live. We are live and direct. Welcome back to the greatest podcast on the face of the earth. This is the LeVar Walker Daily Show podcast. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to get into. Yesterday, I had a great day. But before I even get into that, we got about 23 tickets sold in St. Louis so far. If you're in the St. Louis area, I'm going to be there June 11th. I'm going to be in St. Louis at the City Winery, as you can see that scrolling below here. So if you're in the St. Louis area, know somebody in the St. Louis area, click that link and get those tickets. And even if any of you guys can't make it, get a ticket, right? You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to push this train along. Yesterday I had a good day. Took my son to an exhibit. There's an exhibit in Atlanta off the Beltline. It's called the Illusium Museum, the Illusory Museum, something like that. But anyway, it's a virtual reality museum, and we got to go there, and it was well worth the money. We traveled in the pyramids of Egypt. It was one of the things I saw on Instagram. What people do them Instagrams and them TikToks. Here's If you're in Atlanta, here's a special place to go. You'll like this place. It was great. It was nice. Those things. So we went, man, and just had a great time. And it was so interactive. And I put the goggles on, and we've done like sandbox VR where we play the video games and stuff like that. But I end up putting these goggles on, and you just go on a tour. You're literally on the inside of the pyramids. They take you up heights. You get a virtual, like this digital woman who's your tour guide. Then, like, a cat appears, and you meet the pharaoh. I mean, you go to the bottom of the pyramids. It's insane. It's like a 45-minute thing, and you feel as if you're in there. And that's just the first generation of these things. Like I said, as this AI gets better and better, there's not going to really, really be a need. I'll be honest. There's not going to be a need for live events or going to a live event. I can promise you that because it's only going to get better. And I'm like, dude, this is the first generation. And I plan on going back because they're doing another exhibit because I'm a nerd and I'm kind of into science, right? They doing another exhibit on man, how man formed from a cell. And I told my son, if you want to go see it, my son, no, Dad, man comes from God, because my son is at a Christian school. And I said, no, we do come from God, son, but it just shows how how we are cellular organisms. So, you know, I was talking to the people there, and I said, yo, if there was something like what I was walking through that I could like touch, if they had like some rocks or something you could feel, it would be ridiculous. But this is the first generation of these things. And as they go, it's just gonna get more ridiculous. I mean, the VR headsets that they gave us do not compete with them Apple VR headsets. Those are just, you can forget about it. But this is where we headed right now. This is really where we headed. It's very important for all of us to wake up. Even though there are racist people that exist, that's not going to be the top problem. The top problem, we're going into more classism now. It's the haves and the have-nots. And people that look like you and I have a lot of money, and there are white people that have a lot of money, and then there are those who look like us that are poor. There are whites that are poor. So we're in classism right now. People don't want to admit it. They want to keep most of the masses divided so that they can continuously push this agenda and push this plan that they have for our ass. And as we're fighting one another, the tech gods are getting bigger and bigger, and they are really the new rulers of the world. I'm going to say, like, your leaders of Google, Apple, Facebook, Twitter, Elon, these guys are really running the world right now. And they pushing everything. So this is where we're at, man. This is where we're at. But no, we had a great time. Then I even got to, me and my son, we went on the belt line. The belt line is amazing. I just have to say, shout out to everybody at the belt line. I mean, the belt line is an amazing place. Is everybody showing love, working out, everybody looking good. It ain't no drama. People just vibing. They got the food, the restaurants. We got a little electric scooter and just rode around the Beltline, man. It was a vibe. But that scooter did cost me. That scooter ran me about $40, man. That thing like 49 cents a minute or something like that. So, I'm thinking I might, if I go out there again, I'm gonna buy some electric scooters, because I just keep one in my truck and just pop it out. Here we go with this pollen. It's not cocaine, people. It's not. But like I said, before I get deeper in this, St. Louis City Winery, I'm gonna be there. Uh, After St. Louis, I'm gonna be at the Arlington, Texas Improv, right outside of Dallas. And then after that, I'm at the Baltimore Comedy Factory. And also August 3rd, I will be in Atlanta at the Atlanta Comedy Theater, doing headlining two shows there. And I would love to see you guys. I appreciate all the support y'all give me, because I'm just an independent brother out here getting it, not up under nobody, not trying to be in group activities, just trying to be a comedian and not be in a band. So pull up on your boy, and we gonna keep this thing going. We're gonna talk about a lot today, man. We got a lot we gonna talk about. Shout out to Ether Shakur taking a herb and some Zazol. That'll probably make me sleepy. That Zazol will make me sleepy. But we're going to talk about a lot today. So the things we covering: Trump is convicted on 34 counts in a hush money trial. This will be the first time in U.S. history where they have a person running that is a convicted felon. Fat Joe got his doctorate degree from a Bronx college. The Mavs just totally destroyed the Timberwolves in Game 5, and Frankie Beverly and Maze tour is nearing an end. And those are the topics we're going to go over today. Also, as you can see, I'm rocking my hat. I will be rolling these out. This is the official LeVar Walker hat with the call me on the side. We're going to be rolling this merch out. Hopefully, you guys will like it, and this would be great for Father's Day, of whatever. So, but let's get into this, man. So Donald Trump was convicted yesterday on 34 counts in a hush money trial. I'm not going to be on this thing trying to be too political. We already divided enough. vote for whoever the hell you want to vote for. Do you? I'm gonna do me, okay? But we need to be able to talk like adults about this. So in this hush money trial, he was convicted on 34 counts. I've been trying to do some research, and basically, it looks like they got him on. Let me see here. So he was found guilty 34 counts of falsifying business records to influence the outcome of the 2016 presidential election, a historic verdict as Trump, the presumptive Republican presidential nominee, campaigns again for the White House. So he falsified business records to influence the outcome. I don't know. Look, and y'all can chime in, right? Because I don't want to get too far gone off of here, but I don't know how. I don't know how falsifying business records would influence a presidential campaign. That's number one. So this is the first time a former sitting U.S. president has been convicted of criminal charge. On Thursday, the 12 New York jurors said they unanimously agreed that Trump falsified business records to conceal a $130,000 hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels to influence the 2016 contest. I mean, he said, first of all, they already had him on tape saying he liked to grab him by the pussy. Uh he had so many other things. So I'm guessing that it was illegal for him to pay a prostitute. I don't know. And what's so interesting about that is that New York is in their final stages of actually legalizing prostitution and gambling in New York. So I don't really understand what's going on. If y'all know something that I don't, please just chime in and let me know because I don't want to get too far off topic here. As the verdicts were read, Trump remained silent and still, but the former president spoke to reporters outside the courtroom, calling the trial rigged. Because you know he gonna do that. Jury heard from 22 witnesses during about 4 weeks. Okay, so I looked at some stuff and they said he had like inflated the values on his buildings in New York, which if you get a loan and inflate the value of the building, I would guess that would somehow increase the taxes that you pay. Or am I tripping? If I report that my house costs a million, I report 20 million. I guess if you report it to the bank, the state hadn't picked that up, so they still taxing you on a different millage rate, like your appraised value still. I don't know, but I just don't know exactly what he did that was illegal. I mean, it looks like this is a bunch of paperwork and shit. Just somebody explain to me because I know what is illegal, right? What is illegal is carjacking, kicking in people's doors, uh assault. Those are illegal. And in a lot of states, these people that commit these particular crimes don't even sit in jail for a day because they've gotten rid of cash bail. Now I could be wrong. I could be wrong, right? But this is what's happening. And for whatever they chasing them on, I know this with this conviction, it has not lowered inflation. The cost of milk is through the roof, and these so-called jobs are just not adding up. So I don't know. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You know what I mean? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. They got them on the paperwork. And also to me too, it seems that from what I'm seeing by reading the Shade Room and Media Takeout and a lot of different black publications, including listening to the Breakfast Club, it seems like he has the highest amount of black supporters than he's had ever. Like right now, it seems like black people are divided, like 50-50. And then I believe there's a even bigger silent minority that's going to vote for him on our side. And I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong because I'm trying. I don't want to be too divisive with this. As far as him being prosecuted, um, I don't think that's necessarily a good thing because it kind of divides the nation even more. If I was Russia or China, I would, fire up all the bots I could and try to get the people even more divided and even try to get the people into a civil war. So where they just kick shit off and they get to fighting. We just all get to fighting each other. And while we fighting, then these other countries can come in and kick our ass because that's literally that's what I see that's happening. So I don't know. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know if I'm saying anything wrong here. But that is what I see. And I also see it seems to me as if this is just more publicity for him. Like he absorbs energy and shit with any amount of attention you give him, whether it's negative attention or positive attention, he absorbs that shit. Now he's looking like the underdog out here, and I think this is going to cause a groundswell for his campaign. I'm just saying, like I say, vote for who the hell you want to vote for. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't want this to be too political and too divisive of a topic, right? But let me know if I'm wrong. Um, Y'all saying put him in jail, but you really can't put a former sitting president in jail because to put him in jail, you have to have Secret Service in there with him and shit. And then if you start to prosecute ex presidents, that's going to be very difficult in how they lead the country. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying what the man did was right or wrong. I'm just saying for the overall good of the nation, right? Is this worth it? Is this shit worth it? You know what I mean? You've had presidents to go in and bomb whole countries, kill people, do all kind of shit, right? And nothing happens to these people. But this is like paperwork. It just seems a little bit iffy to me. That's all I'm saying. I don't see the egregiousness of what he did. I mean, even when he won the presidential election, he didn't win by the popular vote. He won by the electoral college, right? Nobody thought he was going to even win. Hell, he didn't even think he was going to win. So I don't know, guys. I don't know, but I know I'm gonna be in St. Louis on June 11th. So y'all pull up, get those tickets. Go right there to that St. Louis City winery and get those tickets. But I don't know. But I just don't think this is the right way to go about this. I think it's a sad day for the nation. I just really feel like that. And like I say, vote for who you want for. I'm not trying to push anybody any side. Also on the Breakfast Club, they had a lot of people calling in, and this niggas from the Bronx calling, talking about how they are Trump supporters. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? The Bronx, Florida, the poorest black people and the poor white people. See, this is what's happening. People are starting to realize that we're in a thing of classism now. And, yeah, some racial issues exist, but it's about the money, man. And they're realizing that. So he's getting a groundswell. I'm sorry. It's unfortunate. We gonna have a felon president. All this nigga need to do, Trump just need to go and drop that album right now. I mean, if he not a rapper at this point, running for president, convicted felon, 35. They put 35 on my life. I'm here. Like it's like he can go. Like right now, he could drop a hot album, throw NBA Young Boy or somebody on there and get it popping. And I see a lot of black people talking about lock him up and all that shit. And then at the same time, y'all rather reluctant to lock niggas up in the community that commits actual crimes and kicks our doors in. But that's a different topic. I don't want to talk about that because we have to stick to this, not the nigga that's robbing you. It's okay for him because he didn't have a father. I know, but this is where we're at right now. So who knows? Let's take a look at this news, though.
And the historic impact.
Let's see.
With the first Biden-Trump debate next month and the Republican convention just days from the scheduled sentencing for Donald Trump, we are in uncharted territory. The presumed Republican nominee is a convicted felon and has an even chance of becoming elected president. NBC News presidential historian and author Michael Beschloss joins us now. Michael, it's so great to have you here. Talk about the political and the historic impact of this guilty verdict on the American public, which is so deeply divided.
That's for sure. Well, I think one way to do it is to say what is unusual now about Donald Trump that separates him from every other person that served as president. One is, you just said it, he's a convicted felon 34 times. We've never had another president who was convicted of criminal behavior. But even more than that, and we saw this in the speech at the bottom of the brass escalator in Trump Tower a little over an hour ago, what he was saying is that we have never before seen a president who so deprecated and insulted our legal system and our rule of law in public. For instance, the closest that a president has come to criminal conviction, as you all know, is Richard Nixon, 1974. Well, the height of Watergate, Nixon gave a speech in which he did not say the system is rigged, he's being treated unfairly, terrible judge. You know, Donald Trump called his judge the devil. In Nixon's case, he was praising, and this is a verbatim quote, honest prosecutors, he said, a courageous judge, vigorous free press. Nixon said, it's essential now that we place our faith in the judicial system. That's what most presidents do. So maybe one of you can solve the riddle for me, and I'll close with this, and that is Donald Trump is saying, elect me president. I'm going to take an oath to defend the Constitution and the rule of law. And at the same time, I'm saying the system is rotten and needs to be replaced. I don't see how you can serve as president saying both things.
So we went and did a fact check. Now, not every single thing that he said that was wrong or misleading did we go to, but we have 15 pages just very quickly that were assembled. I'll do one fact check here. If we have control room, they love when I do this. Show that video again from the press conference. You see that he has a huge number of press. He has photographers. He has people like Katie Tur. Right. He was railing against the fact that he's been gagged, that he hasn't been able to speak, that his campaign is being abridged, and yet he did not take a single question. Katie tried to ask him a question. Other reporters tried to ask him a question. And then he also, frankly, went on another tirade against immigrants in his remarks and accused the Biden administration. Well, let him say what his accusation is. Play it.
They're coming in from jails and prisons, and they're coming in from mental institutions and insane asylums. They're coming in from all over the world into our country. And we have a president and a group of fascists that don't want to do anything about it.
Typical bombastic language, Michael, from Donald Trump. But give us a fact check, a reality check on his use of the word fascist and its history.
Well, fascist, the meaning of the word fascist is a militaristic government that goes after minority groups, that uses the power of the government to intimidate the enemies of the fascist dictator, as we saw in Mussolini's Italy. Donald Trump, all of his life, has had this technique of calling other people what people are calling him. So I think that's what's going on here. But at the same time, if you just look at that speech as a sign of his fitness to govern, it reminded me a little bit of Richard Nixon's last press conference. November 1962, lost governorship of California, gave this rambling, grievance-filled speech, which climaxed with the statement, "You will not have Nixon to kick around anymore." This is a leader who has tried to project strength and effectiveness and showed almost anything but during that speech.
Michael Beschloss, it is always great to have a chance to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Peace, TK.
What up, Charlamagne? What up, Jeff?
What up?
What's your thoughts, brother?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man. I feel like Trump got did dirty, and I don't trust the system at all. You know what I mean? Especially being through the system. I'm the same one that called yesterday about that dog situation. So it's like after you've been railroaded by this system, and you see that when you walk in the courtroom, they want you to be guilty. You're gonna be guilty. I don't got no trust in that process at all. You know what I mean? I rock with Trump. I feel like that he way better than Biden. You know, Biden, I can't stand him. Biden the devil, man. Biden the same one. Y'all remember them policies from the 90s? I know y'all got family members that was victim of that.
The 86 mandatory minimum sentencing, the 88 crack law, 94 crime bill. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, thank you, TK.
Cool. And went away behind that nonsense. And so how can anybody black vote for Biden? The antics that those people take, he going to black cookouts all of a sudden, he doing all this stupidness. It's like a slap in the face. I respect Trump because at least Trump real. Trump real. He might sound stupid. He's not articulate. Whatever. My quality of life was better under Trump. We didn't have all these problems at the border under Trump. We didn't have none of this going on.
But I do think Trump is a narcissist, and I think he's going to be in a position where he is going to be his way or the highway. I think he's going to go on a revenge tour if he does, and I don't think he necessarily listens to opinions. I think he does what he wants to do, and I don't think that's a great thing for the country as well, though.
Can I ask you a question, sir? You know, we talk about the policies that the President Biden implemented in the late 80s and the 90s, you know, very racist policies that impacted our community. But you also got to think about a lot of the racist things that he wasn't the president then, but President Trump did in the 90s, you know, whether it was what he was doing with his tenants, right?
Well, not letting black people stay in some of his buildings.
Yeah, whether it was what he did with the Central Park 5 by taking that out in the paper. He's showing racism too. So when you're talking about two white men,
they both racist.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, look at the difference. Look at one of these racists made policies that actually affected lives. That mess what Trump had going on, his buildings, his talking about the Central Park 5, that had nothing to do with life. That was small. That's small. So but when you look at Biden making actual policies,
I'm with you. Right. But now this person that was racist in the 90s is going to potentially be president of the United States of America again. So you don't think that he's going to implement policies that will be racist? I'm just asking questions. I'm just playing white devil's advocate.
No. Not at all. Not at all. Because when Trump was in office, I didn't have the problems I have now. At all. I don't think it was ever about a black and white with Trump. It's definitely about a black and white with Biden.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just
Oh, y'all get my bad. I don't know. You know, y'all heard that brother from the Bronx. You heard him speak. Y'all can't, my audio low. Can you hear me now? Do I need to put this mic up closer? Is that better? All right. So that was a brother from the Bronx that just called in, and it gets no more nigga than a nigga from the Bronx. And those were his true feelings. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you have a lot of disgruntled brothers all around. It's not just the Bronx. It's in Chicago. I'm hearing the cries, man. I talk to a lot of brothers who are just not feeling the way things are going right now. And from what I'm hearing from this outpour, you have a lot of disgruntled whites and blacks who are going to be holding hands at the polling place. And a lot of black people don't give a fuck. They not in their feelings no more. Like it's really weird. It's really weird, guys. So I don't know. I don't know. Listen, like I said, you vote for who you want to. I don't want to swing anybody to vote either type of way. But I have to call this for what it is. And Lily, I hear it. Lily says, I hear it too. They are all slow. Most are broke and mentally slow from jump. Okay. Now, Lily, I'm going to say that is an emotion that you're displaying right there. You can't tell people how to feel, Lily, right? We can't tell people how to feel. That's how they feel, boo. You can't be mad if they feel that way. If they mad, they disgruntled, there are no jobs. Inflation is through the roof. Gas is high. You can't buy a house. The interest rates are through the roof. You got to rent. People are living in vans. This is where we at right now. So what problems do you have now, folks putting blame on just the president? Yo, are you even exercising your vote towards senators, governor? How do you know what I'm doing, Kenya Williams? I vote all the elections, okay? I vote, and it's more important actually for us to vote in our local elections for your city councilman, your mayor, really your city councilman, the guy or the judge. You need to vote. We really need to vote there. That's where it's most important to vote, and that's what's going to have the most effect. It's not the presidential election is not going to really have as much effect as who your city councilman is, and the person over the public schools. That affects more of where you live in your life than the actual president, because the president is only in there for 4 years. And if people don't even show up to vote. So like, especially in the black community. So in our communities, you'll have a guy that's like a congressman or some shit, or the head of the schools, and he never even has a running mate. Like he just keep winning. You know what I'm saying? Like it's no incumbent, and it's crazy. Now, Lily, you seem to be the only one doing good in this economy. I bought a house. My income has increased, so I don't know what the issue is. I'm doing well under Biden. I'm not scared my sons be hunted if they leave the house. So, Lily, what do you do for a living, dear? Could you share that with us? What are you doing for a living? I'm a former healthcare worker. I'm a former pharmacist, still active, still licensed, but I'm a former pharmacist. So Lily is an accountant. Okay, well, shout out to you, Lily. Lily is an accountant. So that's good. Do you have your own accounting firm, Lily? Do you have your own firm? As a matter of fact, let's give Lily some business. Put the name of your firm up, Lily. I'll flash it in front of it. I'll flash it if you got your own business, because I just like to show love like that. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to shout out, if it's your firm and you want to get some, I ain't got a whole lot of people in here. It's about 54 of us in here chilling. Okay, cool. Well, Lily works for a company, and Lily is doing well. You're doing well. Well, good for you. Now, Lily, is this company, are you an accounting firm? I don't know. I could be wrong, but is this an accounting firm for like government contractors? Is it an accounting firm for independent contractors that have government contracts, Lily? I just want to know. Could you answer that for me? Come on back, Lily. Don't run away. Okay, not an accounting firm. I work in oil and gas. So Lily works in oil and gas. Well, good for you. Well, good for you, Lily. Good, good, good. Well, Lily, I'm glad you're happy, but a lot of other blacks are very, very disgruntled about this economy. A lot of business people are a little bit disgruntled. So that's where we at right now, man. It's wild out here, man. It's wild. So I really don't know. But we're going to move it right along. Fat Joe just earned a doctorate degree from Lehman College. I didn't really know how to feel about that. I don't. Fat Joe, they gave him an honorary doctorate degree. And I guess the thing was, look, I'm not against nobody getting no doctorate degree. You know what I mean? But I think what pissed people off the most is Fat Joe kind of slapped it in their face. And it's like, you fat fuck. They gave you this degree, they gave you an honorary degree. And a lot of times, these honorary degrees are a slap in the face to the students who are actually paying the money and taking out these loans to earn a real doctorate degree, like myself, right? I had to jump through hoops of fire, pass board exams, do a lot of prerequisites to earn the degree. Now, as far as celebrities getting doctorate degrees, it kind of makes me feel some kind of way, especially with Fat Joe being like a street guy. You know, that's not real, right? You know how street guys will tell somebody, well, you're not a real street guy. And then that street guy who, he's older now. I guess he's not really in the streets like that, but he made his bones off of, rapping, talking street culture and repping the culture. And now you had this honorary degree. Well, you're not real. Like, why do you want to slap a fake doctorate in the faces of real people with doctorates? Because this is a very hard degree to obtain in a lot of instances. So, like, for me, I mean, I had to work very, very hard to get out of pharmacy school. That shit was hard. Oh, gosh. Even when I think about it, sometimes I get uneasy because I had to work my ass off. Coming from an underserved public city high school, thank God my HBCU bridged the gap and brought me up to par to be able to learn organic chemistry and biochemistry and pharmacokinetics and human anatomy and physiology and, shit, man, calculus, physics, everything that I had to take. And then you get out and you have to pass a board exam that adjusts to your weaknesses is weird. So, but shout out to him. It did piss a lot of people with real doctorates off because what are you telling the kids, man? What are you saying? Huh? What are you saying? Like, hey, kids, if you're not famous, you have to work hard and pay for your degree. But if you get famous, we'll give you the doctorate degree, even though you don't need it. The reason, and it just be honest as a school, the reason we give doctorate degrees to celebrities is to get attention for the school. So it's like a commercial. If I give 50 Cent the doctorate degree, it gets attention, it gets publicity, and it gets other suckers to come and pay this high-ass tuition at this school because we need asses and seats. Universities need asses and seats, just like I need asses and seats in St. Louis on June 11th. Except my ticket isn't a $200,000 ticket. You get what I'm saying now? So shout out to Fat Joe. I'm not tripping, but yeah, we was in our feelings. Educated people had gotten together and all agreed on that topic. So that's what it is. Ether say nobody likes the Bronx. Don't do that. Don't talk about the people in the Bronx now. Leave them people in the Bronx. Because that one Jenny from the Bronx, J-Lo, ain't she from the Bronx? Don't talk about people in the Bronx now. That's not right. That is not right. Moving right along. Mavs dominated the Timberwolves in Game 5. That Luka Doncic is a dog. I ain't never seen no white man. The last time I ain't never seen no white man beat up on black men like that, the way he did in that Game 5. I want to call Black Lives Matter. I mean, he was putting it down. He ripped the hearts out of the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first quarter. I mean, he just knocking them down, not even messing. And Luka Doncic is Slovenian. He's from Slovenia. It's just like he was out there. I come to work. I come to put the ball in the hoop. After I leave here, before I go to championship game, I drive Uber, and I also sell jewelry. Come, friend. That is who is kicking our ass in basketball right now. As the European leagues, and we have all these foreigners dominate the NBA. And I would say to you young guys who always try to down Michael Jordan, he was playing with plumbers and all this shit. Well, one thing is for sure. There was no Europeans that were going to come dominate a Michael and Magic Johnson back in the day. So it's what it is. But I do like Luka Doncic. He plays like a real man. He plays as man. Luka Doncic, he get the ball. He play. He talk Slovenian. They say, I come to game. It's like in that shot. Like his shot is not the prettiest shot, but it's so lethal and it's so efficient. I mean, the man don't even jump. He just wow. I mean, and I mean the way he throws the ball in the basket and it just wow, it go in there, man. Him and Kyrie put it down. I think he had 39, Luka with 36. And I mean, the Timberwolves looked bad. And they took it from them at their own court. It's like it was over. I don't, they must have just sat in there and watched tape just all day long. I don't even know how they even got to a game 5. The way the Mavs annihilated them last night, it's like they just turned it on. Sometimes that make me think the NBA is rigged because, like, why now, bro? Like, why turn on the juice now? Y'all always could hoop like this, but it's crazy. And I hope, I mean, I'm pushing for the Dallas Mavericks. I'm hoping they win. The whole thing is going to be a movie with Kyrie going back to Boston to play. It's going to be crazy. So this is a very exciting season. So it's what it is, man. It's what it is. Let me see. So somebody's still in here talking about Trump. Let's see what he got to say. This is Roderick Palm. Trump has done so much for the country. Yes, he is an asshole. I was in my feelings when I voted for Biden. However, he destroyed our country and gave all of our reparations away. I'm not cool with that. Wow. So do you think the reparations went to Ukraine? Was that all of our money as black people? So Biden just gave trillions away to Ukraine, and you know what's so weird? They gave all that money to Ukraine, but no money to Maui. Like Maui, was it Maui or some place in Hawaii that caught fire and it still tore up? And they have not put any money back in Maui. Let me see if they put money. Let me see. I don't even think they put money back in Maui, which is a U.S. state, but they've given almost $1 trillion to Ukraine. I don't even know why. I don't even know what's in Ukraine. I ain't even never heard nobody taking a trip in Ukraine. I don't even, let me see. Maui rebuild. I don't even know if they, I don't even know. I don't know what's going on in Maui or Lahaina or whatever the name of that place is out there. But yep, they ignored Maui and the veterans. That's right, Ether. That's right. They did that. So yep. Yep. And we're gonna move right along. And we're gonna move here and wrap this up. You know that the Frankie Beverly and Maze, the legends, man, are wrapping up their tour after about 50 years. You know what I mean? And Frankie Beverly and Maze, just outstanding musicians. Frankie Beverly and Maze, every cookout, every family reunion, every time that music comes on, you reminisce, you know what I'm saying, like being a child sitting in the back of them old 80s automobiles and your parents are smoking cigarettes while driving when they actually had ashtrays and a tape deck and a CD player in the car. Like, you remember all of that. And now Frankie Beverly and Maze has come to an end. But we were selfish with Frankie Beverly and Maze as black people because, in a way, we never let Frankie Beverly and Maze sing a new song. They want, like, they tried to introduce new songs. People would holler out like, "Nah, we made these men and held them hostage to sing them same old songs for 40 years that we love and enjoy, but we never let Frankie Beverly and Maze." I think the last show that they have coming up in Philadelphia, they should just do 10 new tracks up front because they deserve that, right? Like, this man voice gone, like Frankie Beverly voice gone, bro. So they need to sing 10 new songs and then wrap it up because we never got a new Frankie Beverly and Maze song their whole career. And we just pigeonholed them as a people, and that's not fair. It's not fair, man. So you got a partnership, and you got a partnership with Chocolate Sunday. Let me tell you something, young brother. I know I don't need you for that. I know who runs Chocolate Sunday, young brother. I'm good. And I don't even know if you know her. I know the plug for Chocolate Sunday, my young brother. I'm quite okay in that. Matter of fact, I talked to her the other day to get somebody else on Chocolate Sunday in LA. Chocolate Sunday, for y'all who don't know, Chocolate Sunday is that's a comedy night. One of the longest, most successful running comedy nights in comedy where all the stars come, specifically for black comics. It's been running in LA for probably 20 years now, man. So yeah. Oh, you love Chocolate Sundays, Ether? I love it too when I go out there. It's such a vibe. Well, guys, I guess we can go ahead and wrap this up. This has been a great show. Listen, man, I'm going to be in St. Louis June 11th, man. Please, please go get those tickets. I got 22 sold, and I'm literally 11 days out from this show. So hopefully we'll see an increase, man, and we'll do good. So I'm going to see y'all tomorrow, probably in the morning, put this out again. But that's the end of this show, man. Hey, y'all take care. Oh, Houston, I have no idea. But I don't know when I'm coming to Houston lately. But when I do, you gonna know. So, but listen, guys, y'all have a great weekend. Be safe. Nothing but love, peace, and soul. I'm out.